What? He's lying.
No. Hello, Glow.
Hi, Sandra.
Yes.
Back. Yes.
Yes. Hello.
Yeah.
How are you, lovely?
I'm so excited to see you. Hi.
I'm so good. Okay, so I asked you to come on and do a chat with me so many months back, and you were like, girl, I am under the weather. So tell everyone, let me preface this. Okay, so
Yeah.
James Alsop, the queen boo kitten, that's how I like to describe you. My queen boo kitten has done everything. And I know that people know you, but maybe somebody watching this has never been introduced to you. So Beyonce, J-Lo, the unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, swinging the bat. Yes, I love it. I knew it was you. Okay, so all of the choreography that has poured out of you, I don't know where you get the juice, but I know it might be in the extensions. I'm not sure.
Okay.
But it's definitely in the DNA. So what has been happening with you? Because I know you've been going through a lot.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Well, first of all, let me say thank you for having me.
Yes.
I'm so excited to see you. I'm so happy for you. Congratulations on everything. The most beautiful children ever. Oh,
thank you.
So excited. But I mean, life has been crazy for everybody. Back in March, I had COVID, and it was miserable. I was in New York. I was in New York the day everything shut down. I flew in the day before. Everything shut down. Came home to North Carolina and was sick for I was literally in this very room for 22 days. And I was in this house for 37 days without even going outside. It was crazy. And that's when you would hit me up. And I was like, I'm sick.
You're like, I could work, but I'm not.
Yes, I could work, but girl. Fully recovered, thank God. I'm so excited about that. And then I've been in North Carolina, actually. I haven't even been back to LA. I've been in North Carolina since March.
Oh my goodness.
And now I'm like, wait, what? I'm so and everything, as you know, everything's been on Zoom or FaceTime or IG Live. It's been bonkers. But I'm really thankful because, as you know, especially with what we do, we love the busyness. And we love to, I can't speak for anybody else, I love to find a reason to be busy. Yeah. And everything just said, if you don't sit your 8 scribble down. And I got to fall in love with the stillness. And I was like, wait, what? I can actually sit back. Yeah. So it's been great. I mean, things are kind of picking up now, but it's a really weird time. But I'm not mad. Everybody hates 2020 right now. I'm not mad. She reminded us that she's stronger than us.
Yes. And you being in North Carolina, right?
Yes.
You missed the earthquake the other day, a big 4.7, and I was shook. Yeah. But you talking about being busy. I used to say to my mom, because she would pick me up from the airport whenever I'd come back and forth and whatever, and I said, I'd walk out and be right into the LAX drop off pickup zone, and I'd be like, the smell of busy, that's what I'm smelling, right? And it's it's terrible. It's a gross smell, but
horrible.
But disgusting. It's so addictive though to be in the rush. But you have a point of being in the stillness. It definitely, I don't know, for creatives, I don't know if that sends them over the edge or if it makes you another vice, whatever it is,
Yes. I went through both ends of it. At first, I was like, I'm not sitting down. No, I cannot sit down. It's not an option. But then I realized, if I could sit back and really think and really get back in tune with who I am instead of going, because you get a job and you get the confirmation the day before you're supposed to start and you just got to spit something out. It's wait, what? But with this, you can become a creative again. And I'm is this what it means to be an artist?
Do we need a pandemic for all that? Yeah.
Right. But she said, sit down,
Well,
girl,
and to be
yourself.
someone who has been, affected by it in a real way, meaning
Yes.
physically, not just financially or, but to literally go through that. That's amazing. I'm so glad you're better.
Thank you.
Yes.
I'm so glad I'm better. And I'm so glad I had my Corona snatch.
Okay, so let's talk about some of the stuff that I've seen from you online. So, number one, your hair is better than mine, and I'm sad because I loved being a little bit of a blonde, and I'm like, oh, yes. Yes. I know.
But
you thought I was going to talk about, like, real work.
But the difference is mine's detachable.
Oh, yeah. But,
I can detach her.
everybody wants what they can't have.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, secondly, you put something up on, it was Aldo, I think was recently.
Yes. Yes.
So tell me about this, because it looks like, I don't know, did you film this before the pandemic or?
Yes, we actually, it was the Step into Love campaign, and Aldo really wanted to rebrand how they do everything. And this was even before they even knew anything. This was back in November. And we filmed it. They shut down a stop on the MTA, and it was literally filmed on location. And I was dying to be a part of it. Ezra Hurwitz, the director, is a really good friend of mine. We've worked on many projects together. And he brought up the idea, and he was like, I think you're the person to do it. And I was like, I don't know, because of course they were mentioning other names. And I was like, I don't know if I'm better than those people, if I deserve the job over those people. Like, do what you need to do. And we got the job. I ended up getting the job, and I love being a part of something that's going to make some kind of difference or have a huge positive impact. And the whole campaign just really spoke to me about stepping into love and being who you are and not being afraid to be who you are. And not even that, but people encouraging people to be who they are. So the message alone was just amazing to me. And it was great to be able to collaborate with the powers that be, as opposed to, some powers that be walk in and they're just like, do this, do it like this, and blah, blah, blah. It was so collaborative, and they were so open to hearing ideas. Nobody else was a dancer on the team except for Ezra, which is why he's brilliant. He came from a ballet company, and he's incredible. So to have that with them was amazing, and I got to conjure up a dream team. The dancers were incredible. It was fun. It was just fun. It was so fun. Yeah. And I'm glad it took a long time to come out because the world stopped.
Right.
But when it did, it still came out at the right time.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
Well,
it came out when it was supposed to.
Mm-hmm. Well, you're talking about coming into your own. So that's a good segue for you, because I've known you for a long time, and you've never looked so comfortable. Does that make sense? You look so comfortable. Every picture I see, you're like, okay. And I don't know if that's because I'm 42. So I turned 42, and I was like, and I stopped caring. So I don't know if that's you just like, I'm going to do it no matter what, or if it's just like, just inevitable, the way that the world works. So how is it that you are navigating this online life that we're in and being able to express yourself in the most comfortable fashion?
It was a progression of caring less. Like, I stopped really caring about what people thought. Like in my like when I turned 30, I'm 36 now. But then I was like, but I'm still not being completely true to myself. So why? Am I lying to myself by saying I don't care what people think? Because I'm not being true to myself. Because I was like, well, I don't want to lose a certain job because certain people comment on how you look when you show up to an audition. Certain people comment on how you move when that's just a natural way for your body to move, be it more effeminate for me at the time. But then I was like, I cannot say anything about truth and honesty if I'm not living it. And so I just finally, 4 years ago, I was just like, let me start living my truth, honey, and let me just be as honest with myself as possible. And that's when I decided to transition fully and be as true to myself as possible. And it's been people, I mean, it sounds like a cliche, but it's liberating because your safe space is in your head. You create this world because you don't want to offend anybody else. But then when you get to live out that safety out here, it is the most incredible feeling. And I just wanted, like, the 9-year-old James, I didn't see people like me growing up on TV or doing music videos or doing TV shows. I didn't see it. And so I was like, I feel like I have a responsibility to be that person for somebody's 9-year-old who needs to see the likes of me or anyone else like me.
Yeah. Well, I love that you are in your stillness, but you're still present, because sometimes, you know, especially with the online platforms, people shut off. You know, they cut the camera off and they stopped talking to the world, and they thought it was going to blow over and it didn't. And we're still here. But I'm like, no, turn the camera on. I want to see what everybody's doing. Like, I want to know, like, what it is that makes you tick, you know? And for me, I love talking to people and figuring out, like, because I'm a questioner. I'm like, I gotta know, you know? So what is it that makes you tick? Like, what is it inside that you find, like, that motivates you personally?
What really motivates me is, this sounds gross. What really motivates me is knowing that I'm about to do something or be a speck of positivity for somebody. I may not even know the person.
That doesn't sound gross. That sounds very positive.
It's, well, gross, like cliche. I know. Okay. It's weird. But I say that because yet again, growing up in the sticks of Virginia and growing up in North Carolina, I really felt it was unattainable. But then, small backstory, my brother and I, at 9 years old, we had a record deal. And so we got to fly to New York to work on demos or work on an album, back and forth from Virginia to New York. And when I stepped off that plane, well, first of all, my first plane ride at 9 years old, don't do that to your child. I was petrified. But then when you get to New York and that world opens up, it's like, we can do it. I didn't know that I could do it. There is a world out here where you can affect people in a great way. And when that happened, from then on, I'll never forget, 10 years old, our video and song came out. And I was like, people are affected by this. Yeah. We can do this. We can literally have some kind of amazing stamp on the world. And I know I say I don't care what people think, but I at least care how people feel. And if I have anything with how you feel, I want you to feel great. Yeah.
Well, so I went to click on your bio, you know, how you click through the link, and I was like, wait a second, this is taking me to CAA. Yeah. Wait, hold on. When did this happen? Because that is huge. Congratulations. I was like, wait, hold on. This bio is like on, I was like, so much movement.
So much.
Yes.
So much is happening. I mean, granted, I lived the dance life. I was represented by GTA for 12 years with Lisa and Terry. And they are two of the most incredible dance agents in the world for me. I mean, Lisa had my back like no other. I am so thankful for every single moment we had together. And then I was in Chicago last summer working on a television show, and an agent from CAA came up to me and he was like, "You're James Alsop." I was like, "I didn't do it. Who wants to know?" And it was Kevin Lynn, and he was like, no, I know your work, and I'm ready to help you catapult your work to the next level if you want. And I was like, I'm with Lisa. I'm good. Like, I'm good at GTA. Honestly. And then I went and I had an in-person meeting with Lisa, and I was like, girl, CAA approached me, and Lisa, my agent, she said, if you don't go to them, I will push you out the door. I was like, wait, what? She was like, James, 10, 15 years ago, agencies like CAA weren't even thinking about representing choreographers. And I was like, really? And she was like, this is huge. You have to go. And Lisa gave me her blessing. And I was like, oh my, what? I was like, okay, I'm out of here.
Yes. Well, good for you. Because, you know, some might feel like that kind of opportunity is scary, you
Yes.
know? You know?
Yes.
So I'm so glad you jumped at it because, I mean, obviously your resume speaks for itself, but the directorial stuff that I feel like, and producer stuff that I feel like is there for you is so much more palpable, like so much more at the fingertip than being, you know, stuck in a certain place. And not that you're stuck is pretty good. you be right does Yes.
I've been trying to get on your level for years. Do you remember when you were in the movie and I texted you? I was like, you didn't tell me you were in this movie. What movie was it? You were in The Fatigue.
The Day the Earth Stood Still.
Yes. Yes. And I texted you and I was like, you didn't tell me you were in this movie, girl. For everybody here, Sandra and I have known each other for so long. And I must say, this beautiful woman had my back through the years. You have been an incredible friend. I've looked up to you forever. So I just have to say that this is a good one right here.
I know. What are we doing? This is like the weirdest world. So
isn't it? I'm like, wait, what? Like, this is how we have to do this now? I just want a hug from you.
I know. But you've had my back too. You came through plenty of times. Yes. So I love you. Well, so I want to ask you something that I ask everybody who I have on here. What have you not done that's on your bucket list?
So much.
You're like, episode 45.
Okay. I want to, well, the thing on my list now, I want to develop a dance series that is the right dance series, television series for dancers.
Okay.
Stay tuned.
Okay. So, and I'm just going to pry because that's what I do. Okay. So, would it resemble something like the competition series that we've seen, or would it be more of an introspective type of work?
Excuse me. It would be on both ends of the spectrum. I would love to do a scripted series that really exploits the dance world. Like everybody sees, thanks to World of Dance and So You Think and Dancing with the Stars, dance has come to the forefront.
Yeah.
But dance is glamorized. So people think that it's actually easy for us. And people see the dancers and they admire the dancers, they envy the dancers, but they don't really get invested in the dancer's story and what it's
I want to see broken feet.
And I want to see who slipped up on somebody's sweat.
Like
or what the journey was to get to where they are. I really want to see that to inspire the next person coming up who's trying to dance. And yet again, I also want to exploit, that's the wrong word, but I really want to bring to the forefront choreographers and choreographer stories and what they have to go through. So I would love to explore that in some realm. And I don't know.
So the writing is in there too. So you're, because I just want someone to tell my one little story about being at the Victoria's Secret fashion show and them asking me, what size shoe do you wear? And me saying, I wear a size 8. And the costumer looking at me and saying, well, I have a 7 and a 9. Which would you like?
And people don't understand.
And I love it sounds I took the 7.
Right. And it sounds trivial, but they don't understand how that affects your performance. And how that affects your movement. And I really want that to be a thing where people are like, oh, her toes were like this. And like, that could really affect someone. So I really want that story. There's so many artists that I want to work with still. Janet Jackson, she's my number one forever and always. Amen. I love Janet. Everybody who knows me knows that I dance because of the Pleasure Principle video. I love Janet.
Yes. Well,
and the list is never ending. There's so much more to be done.
There's so much. Well, I know that I will hear from you again. We will have another conversation.
Absolutely.
But I want to know, because you are doing this North Carolina thing, when are you coming back?
And changing. Okay, at first I was like, okay. When the order was up in July, I was like, okay, I'll be back like July 15th. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, LA's still shut down. Okay, I'll come back in August. Mm-hmm. I'll come back in September. I'll come back in October. I don't know. I don't know.
Well, you can create anywhere, so.
Thank goodness nowadays, I'm very thankful that I'm in a place where people can reach out to still want to work with me. So I'm really, really thankful for that. But I mean, you know, us, we do need to be around the bodies.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm just like,
well, and even if it's for the wrong reason, because I know that, you know, bad experiences create life somewhere else, you know?
Absolutely.
So,
absolutely.
Yeah. So hopefully we'll have those bad ones to go with the good ones.
Immediately. Just give me anything at this point. I just need something.
Well, I just know that this is kind of one of those seasons, you know, when you go through like the cycle of like the award shows, and then this is the down point, you know, for most dancers, because you know, the holidays, they film specials and everybody goes home, you know. So this is a good period in a way for there not to be so much work.
Yes, absolutely.
But at the same time, I'm kind of like, yeah.
At the same time, it's like, okay, so after the down season is gone, what's next?
What's next? So what is 2021, your first thing? What is your resolution?
Ooh, resolution 2021. It would be to maintain, go back to work, get to work, but to maintain everything that I learned during this downtime, to really be present, but really take time to enjoy the stillness, like not get lost in the hullabaloo of being back to work. Yes, I'm back to work and I'll be thankful, but I would really love to take with me into 21 staying present and just not getting caught up in the craziness. This is a gift that I'm meant to share, but it's not all of who I am. So I can't get wrapped up in it so much that I just lose a part of myself. So just to bring the stillness into the chaos.
Nice. Well, my last question for you, and this is a hard one because I just want you to pull out your crystal ball. What happens with dance as we transition, because studios have closed and some are now offering hybrid and some are now, you know, only online? What do you see happening?
Wow. I am naively optimistic. I have this hope in me that my mom loves and hates. She's called me her most naive child because I just see hope in everything. Yeah. I hope and pray that even if it's not in the same building, the same studios maintain their greatness and they are able to open up. Else, it has to happen. Yeah. People are going to need rehearsal space. Right. People are going to need class. People are going to need training and technique. And people are going to return to the arts. Like when the world first shut down, people turned immediately to the arts. Yeah. They watched TV, they watched movies, they listened to music, they watched dances on Instagram. It was the arts that I personally think it was the arts that saved people's lives and sanity. Yeah. And I think people are going to realize once they don't have that in 2021 and they thought that we would be okay, they're going to do all they can and we're going to get the help that we need to be revived in 2021. So I think it's not going to be normal. We're going to have a new normal. Yeah. But it's, I mean, whatever's going to be better and it's going to be necessary.
Yeah. Well, I'm with you then. I want that. I want that. Because I've been asking everyone the same question. You're like, what will happen? And a lot of times it's not so positive. You know, it's kind of like, you know, dance studios are closing, and it's not just the big ones like The Edge or Millennium or Movement Lifestyle or something like that. It's the small, like mom and pop, you know, across the country. And so they can't just spring back up because it's taken so much out of them. So I'm with you in the hopes that, you know, they all get what they need to just really sprout, even if it's one by one.
I'm putting that out there. I know what it was like coming up in a mom and pop dance studio and what it did for me. And I just hope the world realizes what it takes for dancers to get to this point and that they do what's necessary to keep these dancers and these dance studios alive.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Thank
Well,
you
I send you nothing but hugs. And
I miss it. Kiss those babies for me. They are precious. They are precious.
I know. I've been away for a long time just making babies.
Yeah.
That's what I've
And
been.
she got married. She got babies. I was like, yes, ma'am.
Well, people are like, well, what were you doing during the quarantine? And I was like, well, I just had a kid in October. So she was just like, you know, at home. Like, this is like, she's a quarantine baby. Like,
yes, literally.
It's crazy. Oh, we did that at the same time.
Yeah, I just
Did you catch it? I love you. Okay. I'll see you later.
Miss you. Thank you.
Tell your mom I said hi. Your whole family.
Same to you. Same thing. I love you. Okay. I miss you.
Okay. Mwah. But see you.